Afternoon Floss Tube, it's Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches and welcome to my channel about cross stitching. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me again. It really is wonderful to know so many people enjoy watching me vlog about my cross stitching hobby, and I really appreciate the comments and the likes and subscribes. If you're new, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy what you see and we'll come back again. So I get straight into the stitching in my floss tubes. So that is what I will be continuing to do because that's what I like. I like the stitching. It's been a consistent week for stitching for me. I've done 3,941 stitches this week. A couple of days I haven't done too many. There's lots and lots of challenges going on in lots and lots of different groups, which is keeping me very busy and shuffling projects left, right and centre. It's becoming a little bit annoying at the moment. 300 stitches here, 200 stitches there, 100 stitches there. Anyway, not to worry. So first thing that I want to show you is my welcome. My welcome was the piece that I used as it was closest to the finish, and I did about nearly 600 stitches on welcome. So it previously looked like this here, and that photo is just of the end of the letters. But when I show you here, you'll see that we have got almost the entire thing done. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Really happy with how this one's going. And as you can see, I've only got one letter to go, which is very exciting because I'm hoping to have a new house in about 7 weeks. So I need to get this finished, stitched and fully finished before my new house, so that it's ready to hang on the front door. So yeah, so there you go. Hey, that's a good way to show you. Oh, catch a bit of light there. There you are, Welcome by the Cricket Collection. So that's one piece that I worked on. Another one that I only just started working on yesterday for another prompt. I had to have more than 3 people in it for magical stitches. So I was working on my We Are Humans. Previously looked like this, and I have not done a lot. I did about 117 stitches, but it was enough to actually finish that section. So you can see there, don't like that light there, do this side, that's better. You can see I finished all the sort of 50s and 60s, heading into the 70s. So now I've just got to fill the rest of this one. There's only 2 more sections to go, so that's really exciting too. I wanted to this week really badly revisit my New Year New Start, which was the village of Hawkine Hollow, and my plan is, because there's 12 blocks, to do 1 block a month. So I started in the middle with this one, and then based on the homework challenges I had this week, I decided that I needed to go and do this block here, which is called the Opal's Boarding House. And this one actually multitasked for a lot of different projects. I did about 1,000 stitches on it, just over 1,000 stitches. I had to do something that I spent more than $20 on. Well, that's not hard, most things. I had to do something I had something inside something. And so in this pattern there's, well, everything's inside a border, and then inside the boarding house there are curtains. So I thought that fitted for that, which double dipped beautifully with something that had a face. There's 2 little, I'm calling them kangaroos because that's what they look like to me, but my American friends think they're probably goats because you don't have kangaroos over there. So yeah, I did those faces for that part of the challenge. And also something that reminded me of my father, because when I was younger we went on this holiday to a place called Hill End, Sofala, and I remember distinctly that we got there and our accommodation, something was wrong with the accommodation, or it wasn't available, and he drove to the next town and tried to find us accommodation, and the accommodation we meant to stay at was an old-fashioned inn, rather like the one in this picture, and he ended up driving us all the way home in the middle of the night because of whatever the problem was, and that's just one of my childhood memories I remember. So that's the one I chose to do for that. And also Luminescent Dream, Floating Against a Sea of Darkness, that bottom corner one, all those stars and moons, they're for the winter solstice in the villain book that we're reading. So yeah, managed to get 1,000 stitches done on that. Previously looked like this. Should have shown you that before I started gibbering on. And now that's where we're up to. Well, we've done a whole chunk of the border, and see, they look like kangaroos to me. They really look like kangaroos to me. So that's where my Horcrux Hollow is up to. The other two pieces I worked on were my my stitch along Quaker style. So the linen and threads one previously looked like this, and I stitched on the linen and threads one for about 370 stitches. It's my 30 minutes a day piece, so it doesn't get a fast progress. And you can see that I'm now up to there. So I'm just starting on the last pattern for February, and then hopefully I'll get this finished in time for it to be February, for it to be March, and I'll be able to continue through. Really enjoying my fabric that I dyed for this, but yeah, the Quaker patterns themselves, yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, we'll see. I'll continue with it. It is a free pattern after all, so I may as well pursue it for the year. And then the other one is my family patchwork sampler, and this one I'm really loving, although I've already made a personalization on it, which will be staying. Just trying to get it so that's out. It was previously looked like this here, and this one I'm enjoying because I'm using a Silks View thread, and it's now looking like that. Isn't it gorgeous? Those Silks View variegated threads just stunning. And this is on a piece of linen. So yeah, I'm sort of a bit into February and still a bit in January, and no great rush. I'm not doing this one to keep up because I started it a month late, but obviously I want to keep working on it. How much did I do on that? That is a good question. I did about 400 stitches on that one so far this week, which is pretty good. So that was all my regular stitching, and that didn't fulfill my homework prompts. I still had to do something to do with Easter. I had to do, the last one was something to do with repeating patterns. I also had to do something that had chocolate in it, and I had to actually have chocolate in it, and I didn't have any patterns, and I'm really not keen on just starting patterns for challenges. I like to do something I already have if possible, and that's okay. I can forgo. I mean, it's all optional. It's just to encourage us to stitch, but I really enjoy it. That's one of the prompts from Cheryl's closed group, the 30 minutes a day. So I did a thing, something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I decided it was about time I started to do my designing. So these are not released yet. They're only work samples, but they are coming. One thing I've noticed is that there's a great lack of Australian focused things. So I started stitching a series of small, really simple, easy, full stitches for the months of the year, based Australian style, New Zealand style, Southern Hemisphere style. So we have got a January with the beach, nice beach umbrella, the sand, the waves, the sun, and a pair of thongs. Thongs. They're not flip-flops, they're thongs. That's what we wear on our feet at the beach. Thongs. Then I needed something with chocolate. I thought, well, February, Valentine's Day is perfect. So there's my design for February, with little love hearts and chocolates and a red rose. So I did just over 300 stitches on it, and that's how it's looking so far. Super cute. I'm really happy with how it's come out. Just doing these on the 28 count even weave pieces that I got, just that big. So these are just little patterns from Sew It All in Australia. So there you go, that's the start of my February pattern. And then because I need something for Easter, I pulled my finger out and designed March as well. A little cute bunny rabbit looking out to sea. with his little basket of eggs. So he is currently looking like that. And I've done a few more stitches on him. Just have a look. I've done about 1,000 stitches so far on him. So here, he's a much more of a full coverage box, but isn't he cute? So he's a cute little bunny. I just drew him myself based on inspirational pictures. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to designing the rest of the series, and then if I get more designed, I will look at launching a shop so people can buy them. So if you're interested, let me know below that you think it's a good idea, and it'll give me the encouragement to keep going, because I'm 3 down and I've got 9 to go. So yeah, that's been taking a bit of my stitching time, but it's very, very exciting. I have really wanted to do designing for a while, and now that I'm not working much, I have a bit more time to do that. So I don't have a lot else to tell you. Again, I'm really pleased to see subscriber numbers going up. I am trying to get to that 1,000, so if you know anyone you think would enjoy watching me and Jen talk about our cross stitching, please encourage them to subscribe, and we will continue to do what we do every week. This will be a really short video this week, but that's okay. Short ones are good ones, and I don't have any haul. No haul whatsoever, which is good because I'm not meant to be spending money. So I've just been going through. One thing somebody did ask me, and a question, was how do I get organised and how do I keep track of everything? And I thought I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. This is my weekly journal. So it tells you what I've stitched on each day and how many stitches. This one says when I designed the pieces. This tells me my homework, how many stitches I need to do, and I tick off when I've done them. Previously, earlier in the month, I've got the monthly ones listed as just a thing, and I've written down what project I've used them for, tick them off when they're done. And on the page before, I've got a bunch of the things that are stitched up. So I've got a fair bit more to go on Hawaii. Yeah, I've got to do another 200 on Fairy Tales, 500 on my Big Red Ship of Life, and I probably just killed off the 5,000 stitches, so it's going well. So they will feature in my plans this week if I can make them at all fit. I know that Michelle's homework's out. It's easier homework this week, I think, so I should be able to bend it round and make it fit. And I also know I need to do some work on my Amazing Animal Kingdom bookshelf, because I know Michelle's homework has me having to stitch on a frog, and there's a little frog climbing up a book. Yes. I have to also stitch on a sheep. Not so sure about that. I don't know which month, shearing month. September, I think. Anyway, I will have a look at that. Maybe I'll have to design the month that has a sheep in it, because sheeps. Where's my English? Sheep are definitely an Australian thing. Australian wool, merino wool, is very well known around the world. So one of my blocks of the month will definitely have to have a sheep in it. So that's how I get organised. And I just use my diary and I write in every day. I also use this electronic counter on my phone that I can't show you because I'm filming on it, and that keeps track of the stitches as I go, except for the ones on Pattern Keeper where I just look at Pattern Keeper and then I add them on my counter anyway, because Pattern Keeper doesn't keep a running total. It'll tell you how many stitches you do each day on the day, but after it resets, it doesn't tell you how many you did yesterday. It just says you've done this many total. So for those of us who like to track how we go each day, I use my other electronic counter. So it's called Counter, and it's on iPhones, and it's called Counter by Mick Rasya, R-A-S-Y-A, I think. So yeah, you have to type that in to find it, but it's great. It has a good little way of keeping track of things. Anyway, I need to get some stitching done because I feel like I'm a bit behind in my stitching this weekend. We've had a busy weekend with family. Went to a big concert yesterday with my husband for his birthday. Sometimes I have to do family adulting things, and we'll head into another busy week of school. Hopefully there won't be too many phone calls to go and work, but it'd be nice if it was one day I get to go and work as a substitute teacher. We call them a casual here, or a relief teacher. So that's my plan at the moment. Alright, so I'm off to stitch, finish off those. I've got to do another 100 or 200 stitches on my humans to finish my Magical Stitches homework for this week. And then I will, Shirl's group has a pop-up for Valentine's Day where I'm having to stitch 100 stitches for love hearts to give to my friends, which is great. I can get a few more of them done. Semi-Sane is still doing the snowballs, so I'll see if anyone's chucked any snowballs at me, or I'll see if I can earn any snowballs. And I've also joined a new group called Myth and Magic Stitching, and it's pretty cool. It's like a competition between a whole bunch of different groups of people, like fairies and dryads and centaurs and zombies. Anyway, I'm not quite sure how it all works, but at the moment I'm just a villager. So I just stitch and claim things, and then I give them to the groups. I know they're down to, I think, only 2 groups left. So I look forward to seeing when that round ends and they restart it. Maybe I can get into one of the groups and actually be a bit more involved. I'm not sure. Do I really need more to do? Probably not. I do need to focus on the designing, especially now that I've just told you all about it. So yeah, stay tuned, watch this space. I have my design name sort of organised by next week, and yes, when I get the 12 ones done, I will be ready to rock and roll. So until next week, happy stitching, have fun, bye.